seasons and reasons for celebration, lighting up Hanukkah and Advent celebrations. What practices can help us celebrate the joy of these two holidays? Hi, I'm Dr. K.P. McKee, founder and executive director of the Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center. As we share today's practices, we would love to hear from you. You can enter any questions or comments you have in the chat box on your mobile device or on your computer. So, Hanukkah is the Festival of Lights, and I will talk just a little bit about it. I am not Jewish, so I would prefer that the persons of the Jewish faith be the ones who inform us about that, and I'm going to share some ideas about that in just a little bit. My husband is Jewish by birth, so we celebrate the Jewish holidays, and I wanted to share a little bit of that with you, and then also put you on to some other resources too. So this menorah is a gift from a Jewish friend of our family's that he gave to our daughter when she was quite little, and we have used it every year. The colors for Hanukkah are usually silver and blue. I also wanted to recommend this book to you, Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, and I'm just going to read the flyleaf here, which is, in a nutshell, what Hanukkah is about. In the dark midwinter, the flickering light of Hanukkah candles recall a miracle. 2,000 years ago, when the Jews reclaimed the Temple of Jerusalem from pagan invaders, they found only enough oil to burn for a single day. The oil lasted for 8 days, a triumphant entry to a period of oppression, violence, and suffering. The story of these events, like the Festival of Lights that commemorates them, is an inspiring reminder of the heroic power of faith. Also, I would like to recommend the music of two Jewish a cappella groups, the Maccabeats and 613, who take popular songs and rewrite the lyrics to educate us all about various Jewish holidays. And I think David is going to post some suggestions for that in our chat box for you to enjoy. And then last, I wanted to also recommend this old family favorite, Peter, Paul, and Mary, A Holiday Celebration, because it contains music not only about Christmas, but also about Hanukkah and its inception and what it is all about. So I imagine you can probably find this at Barnes & Noble or some other music seller. So I can talk more knowledgeably about Advent, and it's interesting to me that both Hanukkah and Advent are very much about light. For 8 days in a row on Hanukkah and for 4 weeks in a row for Advent, the 4 weeks leading up to December 25th when we celebrate Christmas. And you generally light a candle each week of Advent. Typically the colors are 3 purple and 1 pink. They can have various meanings. Generally they reference hope, peace, joy, and love, with the pink candle being the joy candle. And then on Christmas Day, you light the white candle for the celebration of Christ's birth. So some creativity resources for Advent as we are getting ourselves ready to celebrate the birth of Christ. This is a personal family favorite, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever by Barbara Robinson, which we have done at A Spacious Place as a play with children in the past, and I would love to do this again. That's the reason it's all marked up here. It really helps me to remember what Christmas is all about. The Christmas Miracle of Jonathan Toomey by Susan, I believe it's Wojciechowski. That is the best I can do. This also is about preparations for Christmas Day, and it tells the story of a carpenter creating a nativity scene, and it's really a beautifully told and illustrated book. And then last is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This is obviously not all A Christmas Carol. This is a collection of other stories. Christmas Carol is a fairly small read and one that's easy to read aloud. I thought I would just come here to the beginning and show you. Yeah, it's just that much of the book. One that we're probably very familiar with, but the beauty of the language in the original book is well worth reading aloud and enjoying. enjoying again. And then again, the Peter, Paul, and Mary piece has some beautiful songs, lesser known songs that are about the holiday season. So I wanted to also think about some things we can do during our time of waiting, because Advent is about waiting and expectation. So the first one is that we can make some ornaments for the holidays, and we can do that based on what we're thinking about, what we're looking up toward for Advent, and I wanted to just share this one with you. So one thing that you can do is you can create a Chrismon tree. Chrismon is short for Christ monogram, and these ornaments are generally white and gold. They can be made anyway out of foam board. You can sew them and stitch and embroider them, whatever you would like to do. And this is a little book that I made a long time ago for some children, and I could probably find the references again if you're interested. But I just was going to show you, here we have a crown. This is one that we bought. And then this explains what the crown is about and a scripture reference about it too. So if that would be helpful to you, please let us know. Then we can also make ornaments that just spell out the words that we think about at Advent. This one is joy. It was made by, I think our daughter made this one. And then also another thing that we can do is we can create a wreath as we're looking forward to the holidays, because it's something that we can work on during Advent and then hang up in our home anticipating Christmas Day. And this is one that is fairly simple to make. It is just made out of ropes and then some bow and some holiday picks. So I'm going to show you how I made this one, and then we have one that's a little bit more elaborate to make. So you can purchase these wreath forms off of Amazon, and you can also just get the single ones and wrap it. I just like having a little bit more depth. And they have a convex surface, so you want to work from the back to the front. I made this on a card because the folks we worked with found it a little bit easier to unroll this way. And you just want to make it nice and tight, and just, as we talked about, over the river and through the woods as a way to think about it. And I hot glued it to start, and this one when I finish it, I will also hot glue it to finish, but I will not do that while we're sitting here together. I'm just going to loop it and hold it in place this way. And then you can make yourself a bow, and you can get a bow maker to do that. That really simplifies it. Or, of course, you can do it by hand. If anybody wants any instructions about how to do a handmade bow, I can do that for you. This one I did ahead of time with the bow maker. So I already have some floral wire here, and I'm putting it through. I'm going to cover up where I brought this together on both sides. Pull it, twist in place. And then fluff it out however you want it to hang. And then, as you saw, I had these fruit ones on this one. But you can make a very different looking wreath just by choosing different things to put on it. So this is some holly. I guess they're holly berries. I'm not sure what kind of berries they are. And I'm doing the same thing here. Actually, I'm going to start by pulling through here. And we discovered with one group we did this with that the picks are kind of long, so you can always trim off the excess if you want to. And then I like to just wire it in place as well, just to make sure it stays where we want it to be. Trim that off. This must be the really big one you had before.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm just going to bend it in so we can see what it looks like. So we have that one that looks very different from the other one. And then a little bit more challenging, you can make a rag wreath with this same thing. And with the rag wreath, you can leave this 1/4 section empty. because you're going to be doing a lot of work on this. On this one, this is the most involved one. I used every single of the 4 rungs here. And we can send you the link of where we got these wreath forms if you want to do this. But you can also make a really beautiful wreath. And I may have lost some of my examples here. I'm just going to show how to do this with. Well, here's the next one, so at least I can show you with that. So with this one, we're doing the most inside one and then the one here, and it will look just beautiful. We had a child do that. And so all you do is you're going to go, you want the convex side, just pull it through. This is the one David's working on, so I'm not going to do too much of it. Just enough so you can see. So you're just going to pull it through. I'm hoping you can see that. And then we're going to tie. And you can tie a single tie, or you can tie a knot if you would prefer. These are basically 6 inches long and 2 or 3 inches wide. And then you just go all the way around. And if you want, you can make a hanger for these wreaths out of a loop of ribbon. Or they hang really beautiful on doorknobs. They're small enough to work really well that way.
And you can also get a hanger type deal that hangs over the door.
Yeah, if you want to spend money to do that. So that is that. So those are some ideas that we can enjoy working on as we're anticipating the coming of the Christ child on Christmas Day. So if you have found this helpful, we hope you will like it on Facebook. You can also rewatch on Facebook, on our website, www.aspaciousplace.com, or on YouTube. And we will be back the week after next, December 19th, while we talk about Christmas Day and the 12 days of Christmas. So I would like to close with a prayer that is actually a hymn, and it is by Charles Wesley. Come, thou long expected Jesus, born to set thy people free. From our fears and sins release us. Let us find our rest in thee. Israel's strength and consolation, hope of all the earth thou art. Dear desire of every nation, joy of every longing heart. Amen.